All right, what's up, everybody? This is Biz Coach C, otherwise known as Cynthia Ellis. I think Biz Coach C is probably who I really am, and Cynthia is my alter ego. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for our next live training in the Road to 100K series. This series was designed to help entrepreneurs understand how they could create a pathway to earning their first six figures running their own business. So we are so glad that everybody's joining us today. We have a Google Meet room full of rock stars who are here with live Q&A, and we are also live on Facebook, IG, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you're watching on any of my community platforms, thank you for joining us today. And if you're not watching this live, you're catching the replay, it's just as powerful, right? So if you do have comments, questions, suggestions on any of the platforms, please be sure to add those, and my team will get those to me so I can address those questions and concerns for you, right? Because I am here for solutions for your business. And today is a very awesome topic. We're talking about marketing that converts to pay. This is number 6 in this series of training. So I hope that you guys are seriously ready to come and learn. I was telling folks in our Google Meet room that if you don't have something to write with, now is the time to grab something to write with, because you're going to want to take notes, right? So welcome back to the Road to 100K series. In the last few sessions, what we've done is we've built your offer, we've clarified your value, and we've handled kind of putting our money to the side and making sure it's allocated correctly. But now it's time to make that offer type move, right? Because content just won't cut it alone. We need marketing that converts to pay. So if your marketing doesn't lead to money, it's not strategy, it's just stress. Okay. So what we're going to be learning here today is my top 5 marketing strategies that will actually generate sales for you in your small business. I'm going to give you tools to help simplify your marketing and get those results faster. And then I'm going to show you how to turn your followers, your viewers, your lurkers, your, what do they say? The people that are just kind of trolling, your trollers, into actual customers. So we want to learn how to convert those folks who are trying to tap into our communities online in some way or another. So if you do have questions, anytime that we're rolling through this, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you are in the live Q&A room, you can come off mute. You can ask those questions. I'm happy to answer, and we can address them right here in real time. And for those of you watching the replay, like I said, make sure that you are commenting, responding, getting active in the comments too, because algorithms are picking you up. So as you're watching this, and the algo has probably led you to this, some of you, if you found them live in real time, the algo actually notices when you comment and when you engage with the material. So I would encourage you to do that if you're on the social media channels, because it's going to increase your visibility and engagement just as well as it is mine. So it's a win-win when we're doing that. All right, let's get to the actual program today. And I'm going to make sure I'm sharing my screen across every single platform so you guys are following me and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. So if we're looking at our first slide for marketing that converts to pay, which everybody should see, and if for some reason you're not seeing it, let me know. I'll make sure we switch up something. My visual team will help get us back in alignment here. But it looks like so far so good. And since that is the case, I'm going to start hopping right into it. So if you're ready to transform your content into a revenue generating machine, then this presentation is going to show you how to create marketing that doesn't just look good, but actually pays you well. And so that's an important thing, because marketing, as we know, is what we are doing to make our business visible in many, many different ways. And that can happen traditionally. When I say traditional marketing, that means printed materials, billboards, newspaper ads, radio ads, all of the things that we've done in the past before everything digital and virtual came along. So if you hear me talk about traditional marketing, that's going to be all of those things, right? The business card, we're handing it to people. Even that has become non-traditional. So when you hear me mention non-traditional marketing today, I'm going to be talking about all of those digital things that we now do, which includes social media, website ads, electronic business cards, electronic flyers, all of the things that are new school, right? So think of traditional as old school, non-traditional as new school, right? All right, good. Let me know if you're following me, people in the room. Give me an emoji. Let me know you're not zombies. Let me know you're still alive. There we go. Very nice. Y'all are amazing. All right. So let's just stop posting just to post. That's number one. Let's get that straight. First things first, or like they used to say, my old neighborhood. First of all, and that's how you knew somebody was getting ready to get really serious when they look at you and say, "Well, first of all." So I'm going to look at you today as your business coach. You're here, so it's inevitable. Like, I'm your business coach now. I don't know if you realize how deep you were getting in today if you were watching this live or joining this room. But now that you're here, you're trapped. I'm your coach, and that's it. Said and done. So I'm going to tell you, first of all, tough love. Let's just stop posting just to post. That's not what we're doing anymore. So I talked about what we were talking about in these first few sessions. And we went through how we actually clarified our offer, defined that value, and everything. So now we have to understand, now that we have this knowledge, we got to take things a step further. And so if we are stepping a little bit further, what does that actually look like? Let's go take a look at it. Our top 5 ways to convert your marketing to pay. Here's what we're getting into today. I want you to start by using a strong CTA funnel. This is number one. This is your number one. This is your top way to make sure that your marketing is going to get you dollars. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the term funnel, which is probably going to be few people at this point, because if you've been on social media, been online for a while, then you've probably heard some communication about funnels. And if you've ever followed Russell Brunson at all, and you know about his multi-million-dollar company called ClickFunnels, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not necessarily the ClickFunnels platform, but when I use the term funnel, what I'm speaking of is a pathway that you lead a buyer down on their journey to actually going from viewing your product or seeing you for the first time to engaging with you and securing a purchase, executing that deal, right? That's what a funnel is. It's going to lead a person down that pathway. Now, funnels look different for different types of businesses, but in essence, we all have them. Whether that's what we're calling them or not, we are all utilizing funnels some type of way in our business. That's exactly what we're doing. So here with this first one, with a strong CTA in the funnel, here's what I want you to be thinking about, right? And you got it right here on screen with you. I'm just scrolling mine up so I can see a little bit and I make sure I'm leading y'all the right way. Marketing without direction is wasted energy. So again, we're not going to be posting just to post. And I used to do this in my business a lot because I always heard people say, if you're not posting, you're not being seen. And so I felt this huge demand, this huge burden of, oh my God, I need to be posting at least 1 to 2 times every day, Monday through Sunday. I need to make sure that I'm getting online, that people are seeing me. Well, the pressure and the weight of just making that happen turned into me not actually planning because I felt like I was running out of time to get it done. And if you have ever been an entrepreneur that's doing it all in your own small business, and then you've tried to stop, create content, plan out content, schedule content, post content, respond to DMs, use trigger words, use keywords, figure out hashtags. If you've ever been the person that's tried to do that, then you know how overwhelming it is. And let me just say that posting every day does not necessarily increase your visibility. Posting more times a day and more times a week does not equal increased visibility or engagement. And it certainly does not equal an increase in your sales, because there's always a strategy that lies behind that, right? And one of the strongest things that you can do is slow down to speed up. So don't follow the hype of you have to post, you have to post, you have to post. Follow the hype of you have to post with strategy and you have to post intentionally. And it has to be revenue generating activities that you're doing online on your social media platforms if you're going to get results. So I know we love the likes. I know we love the loves. I know we love the reactions. But at the end of the day, if our business is not making money, it is just a hobby, right? We are not going after likes at all. We're going after dollars, because if we're focused on trying to learn how to make 6K in this not just 6K, 6K a week, a month, maybe, but definitely 10K months is what we're aiming for, so we can get securely to our 100K a year in our business, then this is what we do. Start with a strong CTA funnel. Now, what is the CTA? I've told you what a funnel is. A CTA is what is a call to action. Put in the comments. Everybody drop in the comments, call to action or CTA. Drop that in the comments for me, or drop it in the chat. CTA, call to action. Drop that in there for me. Let me know you listen. Let me know that your fingers are working. CTAs look like this. DM me the word start for the link. Click to download this checklist. Click here for this discount. Book your call, shop with me here. Visit this page on my website. Or even some of the comments are great CTAs now that will actually lead to a consequential action. Really, that is good. That's a positive consequential action. But it's like, comment help if you feel like you need this service, or comment deal if you want to catch this flash sale and get this 50% off. That is literally guiding your audience into what to do. We don't want to think about our customer base as just kind of like illiterate, not sure where to go, what to do. But honestly, I want you to give it that thought process and make sure that you are settled on a notion that my customers won't know what to do without direction, because that is just the honest truth. And we think sometimes we get lost in all of our thinking because we are so excited about the product. We're excited to sell it. We're excited about what it does. But we forget that our customers have a totally different feeling when they're interacting with our marketing and our posts online, and especially with our products. They don't feel like you feel. They don't see what you see behind the scenes, and they definitely are nowhere nearly as familiar with it as you are. So you have to guide your customer through these processes. And a CTA is one way that you can guarantee that that guidance is there for them. And it also guarantees that you're leading them to the well, right? You're leading them to the well, and the water is your product or service. And we want them to partake of that. What are some things that you can use as far as tools that will help you automate the responses from CTAs? So if we are telling people what to do, if we are telling them to click this link to schedule, to click here for the discount, to click here or start or comment here for this, then we need to incorporate ways that are going to make it easy for them to move forward to the next step so we can get that purchase. Because if the marketing is going to lead to pay, then we got to lead people to the water. So this is what your automations do, right? This is what your other platforms do, your AI does. And a lot of these platforms and different things that I'm going to give you actually have free versions that you can take advantage of, or they are very affordable, because I know that you guys are small business owners like me. We love affordability and free. It is what it is. It saves money. We're able to keep more in our pockets, right? Awesome. So here are some tools that you can use. If you are a person who's doing booking, then definitely, I'm looking at Sean Turner and he's commenting off of LinkedIn, use Go High Level. Yeah, GHL is a great recommendation. It is one of the best tools to actually help you automate a lot of those things. And I'm going to put his comment up on screen so the rest of you guys watching on social media can see that. But other tools are things like Calendly, which I use for booking myself. I actually added another user profile this morning. I added another user seat because I'm adding one of my VAs to Calendly to help me expedite those sales processes. StanStore, ThriveCart are great for digital product CTAs. So if you're somebody who's selling digital products, check out these platforms because they are great at responding to folks who are clicking, commenting, liking, so that way you don't have to, and they lead them directly to your shop to start purchasing, or directly to your booking site and help you execute. So it's like robot salespeople for you, right? And then there's I call it Bitly. I don't know if that's an appropriate, if that's the right pronunciation, but I call it Bitly. But what it does is it takes longer links that you have and it shortens them so that we're not crowding people's minds with too much information. Because if we begin to do that, then we lose the folks who are shopping with us, right? Nobody likes a convoluted and a confused picture when they're trying to sell, when they're trying to buy, you know? So when people are out shopping, things will be super, super simple, super simple. I need to be able to purchase what I need to purchase almost immediately. All right. What would be a great platform for a clothing brand and personal training? Oh, okay. So if you're going, it depends on the CTA, on the CTA you're going to be using. But I would definitely take a look at just see, you don't need to be booking, you need to be using. I actually want to pull it up on the website here to let you see. I'm going to come back to that, Roy, because I'm going to pull that up or get somebody to pull that up for us because I want to show you that. But there is a platform that you can use for retail that would be good for responding. Again, it depends on what CTA you're using. So I would guess that the personal training may be for a consultation, probably. Let me know in the comments. Do you do consults before you actually enroll them in your training program? So like, would you need these folks to be booking with you? But then for the products, I'm going to find and recommend you the platform for the other products. But let me know, because if they're going to be booking an appointment, then I definitely recommend a platform like Calendly. Depending on who your web host is, I know Squarespace also does Acuity scheduling. You can do that. That's a great way to automate scheduling, booking processes. So yeah, those are a couple of ideas right there. But I'm gonna come back to you with the one for the products to help you expedite that. This is a great question. And thank you for chiming in, Roy. And thank you for chiming in too, Sean. I appreciate y'all. All right. I want you to leverage your story-based marketing, right? Let me make sure I've told you all I wanted to tell you about starting with a strong CTA funnel. So strong CTA funnel was our number one way to convert marketing to pay, is making sure you lead people to the well. So get that. Let that stick. Lead people to your water. All right. People don't need more info. They need you to show them how to take the next step. Don't crowd them with information. Like I said, make it super simple. They just want them to know if I need to click here next, like literally, like it's just that simple. They want to know what they need to do next to buy from you. Tell them, and tell them easily. Don't draw up 2 and 3 paragraphs in a post where people are scrolling through with their thumbs and only looking at things for 3 to 5 seconds, because more than likely they're not going to be stopping to take that much time to read it. If you want them to do that, then just give them a link to your website that would actually probably keep them on there for at least about 30 seconds to a minute longer, which would give them the inclination to take more time to understand where you want them to go. But understand what platform you own and the amount of time that people are actually spending on social media and on your website. In your website, you can definitely look at the analytics breakdown of how much time people are on your site, what pages on your site they're looking at more. So one of the things that I recently delved into in my own website, just to give you some advice on this, when I'm looking at the analytics of my website performance, like within a week's time, I'm trying to keep my viewers over a certain number each week, right? And so when people are on my website, I'm looking at which pages are they on, because I really want them on my services pages. So I know that they're looking at the products and services I offer. I want them looking at the pages that house my digital products. I want them looking at my homepage. I want them looking at my consultations page. So I know that they're booking and they're going to stay with me, right? So while I'm looking at that, I'm looking at how long they're staying on those pages, what the bounce rate on those pages is. And I'm also looking at that. Now, a bounce rate means that they're only staying for so long before they've gone off to look at something else. And they're only on there for a few seconds before they've moved along. They really hadn't read anything at all. They appear and then they leave. Like, that's your bounce rate. You want that to be as low as possible. That number needs to be decreased very low. But while I'm looking at those things, it really teaches me, okay, they're coming to this web page, but then this page is not converting because they're not looking at this page for more than 5 seconds. And then you start to diagnose the problems. What is the barrier here? What's keeping my folks from converting? Is this site not attractive enough? Have I not given them clear enough instructions on what to purchase? Or do they not understand the value of what I'm offering? Is it the right audience altogether? So the right type of marketing is going to lead you, even the wrong type of marketing, but just your marketing in general and what you receive from that as far as data. That big sexy data is going to always lead you in the right direction. All you have to do is analyze it, right? Break it down, understand what that data is telling you. And if you have not ever done that before and you need somebody to help you understand what that data means, that's why I'm your business coach, right? Don't just sit there. Get some help. That's what I'm here to help you do. All right. So here's the second thing I want you to do. So I wasn't done like I thought I was done. All right. Here's the second thing I want you to do. And before I go to that first thing, let me get you to drop something in the comments. Everybody who's watching online, everybody who's in the Google Meet room. Yeah, you all right. All right, y'all. I'm talking to my 19-year-old who's absolutely amazing. And she's starting her own baking business. Put a plug out there for embarrass her real quick. All right. So here's the thing. This is what I want you to drop in the comments real quick. What is one thing? What is a CTA that you could use in your current content to help lead people to actually make a purchase from you? What is one CTA that you could use? Is it going to be click here to access my website? Click here to download this. Click here to use a link. Drop a CTA in the comments that you could use in your own paper. Yes, one of my faves. Click the link in bio. Here's the catch. You can't use somebody else's. Whichever one you see pop up in the comments, you can't use theirs. You got to come up with your own. What CTA are you guys going to be using to help promote your business online? With those posts that you're posting, what CTA are you going to be using to lead people to make a purchase from you? And whether you're doing that instantly or not, I want y'all to give that some thought. Put it in the comments. Absolutely. Book here. Simple, quick. I understand what you want me to do, and I know where to go to do it. Absolutely. Awesome. Y'all continue to drop those, and I'm going to keep right on teaching and giving y'all some of this good consultation. All right. So second thing is I want you to leverage your story-based marketing, because if you've ever listened to Bob Proctor long enough, Buffett long enough, if you've ever listened to, oh my gosh, I can see his face, Tony long enough, Eric the hip hop preacher long enough, if you ever listen to any of these motivational speakers, Gary Vee too, he'll also do it. So here's the thing. If you've listened to these gurus long enough, they're going to tell you that there are 3 elements to making sure that you are properly offering what you have to someone. That is having a hook, a story, and an offer. So I'm going to tell you how to actually leverage story-based marketing. Second of all, because I gave you a first of all when we started. Second of all, stories actually resonate with people emotionally, and every single person that has ever shopped throughout the history of time has made emotional purchases. So whether we think we're making emotional purchases or not, we are. You can talk about quality, you can talk about affordability all day long, but the place in our frontal lobe where we make the decision to make a purchase for something happens where we do critical decision making. And that's where stories form, and that's where we connect with other things, right? So the science and the cells behind psychology is all in the mix of this second thing that's in the middle, which is the meat. So you got your bread and your 2 positive things on the outside, but that meat in the middle is what matters. And that's your story, right? That's your story. People buy when they feel connected. And emotion sells more than any other features that you're actually going to ever use. So once you know who your target audience is, right, and you've understood how, or at least what platforms that they're on, that you can start connecting with them, then what's going to happen is this. The language that you use is going to become super important, because that's what's going to determine how they stick around. That language is what happens in your marketing, right? So that's the story. Share these 3 stories regularly, right? Share them on a regular basis. Now, I'm not saying that you post your why every day, but regular basis means you have a content calendar planned out, and you're planning that based on your strategy to capture your people. So it's not that you need to be posting every day again. Let me just say that. It's not that you need to be posting every day, but you need to post meaningful, intentional, and converting content that speaks with your people. If you're doing that, then you need to make sure that these 3 things are incorporated in those things that you post or in those things that you put in your email newsletters. Your why story. What actually led you to your business? Why is your business here? That is one of the most important things that you can share with someone, because it automatically resonates with people, right? And with the right people who are going to be shopping with you. Always try to regularly connect in client success stories. So UGC, user generated content, is one of the best things since sliced bread. Having content from people who've had experiences with your product or service, that's going to help you win, right? How have you helped someone win? That's what we need to put out in the forefront. Client success stories. People connect with other people's stories. I promise you, when we're looking at Amazon, I just had 2 Amazon packages come up on my doorstep today. And I promise you, when I was shopping for that on Monday, I was actually looking at reviews, trying to determine which one of these is going to be the best out of these brands that I'm looking at. I swear, you're looking at reviews. Everybody, if you're looking at product reviews when you're shopping, let me see. Hit thumbs up. Put a yes in the comments or give me an emoji. Who looks at customer reviews before you buy anything? Right? Yes, so serious. All right, who doesn't? let me see you in the comments. If you're not looking at customer reviews, you need to be looking at customer reviews, right? You avoid so much problems with that. And so we're doing the same thing. When we promote our customer reviews, we're helping people avoid problems. Because guess what? Not everybody's meant to be your customer. Not everybody's going to want what you have. Not everybody's going to be interested in it. And not only are we attracting the right people when we post client success stories and feedback, but we're also avoiding the wrong people. So it works in both ways, because you can market to everybody and not market to anybody. And if you are trying to push and market your product to every single person that lives in the world because you feel like everybody needs what you have, then you're not going to get a response. You're not going to get the conversions that you want. What you're going to get is a sporadic audience who may or may not be interested, and it's going to be watered down with cold leads. That's not what we want. We want our leads to be warm, hot, or warm, or warm and immediately heating up, right? Because those people know what they want. They know that we offer it, and they're interested in buying from us. Those are the people we want. And when you connect your story, your why, and your client success stories, then you start to connect with actual people who want to buy from you. And this was the issue that I had when I started creating digital products, because I was putting it out there for everybody, but my story had disconnected. And even though I had not sold the product yet, I could have tested it with a small sample size of folks to say, hey, I want you to check out this workbook and see how you like it. Send me some feedback. That would automatically give me some room to know how it performed, to see if I needed to make any corrections. And I'm not just leaning on my own understanding here, but it will also create space for me to have stories that I could post and actually begin to sell my product even before it was ready, get pre-orders and things like that. Success stories are super, super successful when you use them in your content, and they help me make a lot of money. So after I went back and corrected that, then I really started selling digital products to the point to where I actually sold within the first week. I think I sold close to about 100 digital products, which is for what I'm offering in my audience size, I think is really well for me, right? So that's awesome. And they're selling at about $17 to $25 per digital product. So if you're thinking about that in that span of time, like that is super for a small business. That's top line revenue. The last thing that I want you to put in your content regularly is this, your I've been there type story. All right. This is kind of how you overcame what your customers are facing, knowing how to incorporate that in your content. So if you are someone who has like a clothing brand and you're selling it, then and you might want to speak to something like confidence, right? Here's how I overcame the fear of how other people viewed me, or here's how I got over what other people thought about me. Is I decided to be my own person. You know, I used to be somebody who didn't speak up for myself or whatever, or this or that, or I didn't think I looked good in anything. If you're a woman, you know, but this transformed me. This is what made me think differently. People connect with stories like that. So use those things regularly. Incorporate them in your stories and your reels, especially if you're someone on IG or FB. Those connection stories, they go viral and they trend all the time. If you need help actually writing and planning out those story angles, pull up your AI. Hopefully you guys are training an AI platform to know your brand, voice, and tone at this point. And if you're watching the other AI series that I'm doing with Maribel Sanabria, that series is also available on my YouTube page, then you're going to clearly see, like, this is how I can use these AI platforms to help me write this out, and I can tweak it, whatever. So ChatGPT and Notion are great for helping you carve out those story angles in your brand tone, in your brand voice. And you can even create the content, some of the graphics for you. Yeah, I saw the applause. That's what's up. Hopefully you guys are doing that. Like, my ChatGPT knows me so well right now. Like, I swear, I've started creating all kinds of profiles in that thing, but but they work. So, but if you have any suggestions for any other AI platforms that you are using right now that help you do that, Grok is another one. Feel free to drop it in the comments, drop it in the chat, and let these other entrepreneurs know what you're doing with AI that helps you leverage your stories and nail down your brand and your niche. The best marketing doesn't sound like a sale at all. It sounds like a me to you conversation, and it sounds like a me too conversation, and it makes that buyer want to, or at least that shopper, that makes that shopper want to dig deeper into what is it that you're doing. That's the kind of response that gets sales. You can emotionally connect with a person, then you get etched in their memory, and you've got a solidified touch point. And it takes on average at least about 9 touch points before you can actually convert someone. So those touch points may look like, I saw several of your posts, I saw your story, or I saw your reel, I got your email newsletter. So they can come from a lot of different directions, but ultimately, again, it's going to lead them to the well, right? Absolutely, every single time. So the thing that I would tell you about leveraging story-based marketing is, that's it. It sounds like me too. Like, it sounds like me and you when a buyer or when a shopper is reading it. Next thing here is all about using what I call the 100K content formula, right? So this is going to be a plug and play formula that you could go back and use that's going to help you not just get the sales. So we got the CTA funnel that's helping us get to the sale. And then the second thing was that we went over was leveraging the story. So those things, the CTA, the story, is actually leading people to the well, right? So this is the 100K content formula that's going to make sure that you're doing that consistently, right? Because once we figure out how to produce it, and we figure out it can actually get sale, and we start converting 1 or 2 times, 3 and 4 times, 10 and 12 times, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times. Once we start learning that, okay, sales are starting to trickle in, people are picking up on this content. And sometimes before you even begin to get the sales, think about this. And it was almost like I was saying with the analytics on my website, and I'm following the analytics on my LinkedIn page with my VA too, while I'm incorporating some things there and trying to pick up on an audience there. When you're trying to learn how to convert on a particular website, you've got to track the activity, and you've got to view those analytics, because like I said, the data is always going to lead you in the right direction. So if you are reading these things, I noticed that some of the analytics with my LinkedIn page, when I started really shifting focus on there, I was getting people visiting my personal page, but not my business page on LinkedIn. So then I had to figure out the science behind, okay, how do I get people attracted to the business page? And so what I incorporated as a service provider who's on LinkedIn is a system to where with my VA, I engage with individuals who are in my target audience. So first I said, okay, here's the type of people that are in my target audience. We're going to look for people who have this information or these keywords in their profile. They can be in this job, they can be in this demographic area, they can be doing this, they can have experience with that. So once we identified who those folks were who would actually be interested, then we followed them, looked at their content, liked their content, started to engage with them to build some type of relationship or to establish visibility, to initiate that. And again, this is a lot for you to do on your own. So this is just what I did with a VA. So once we engaged a situation like that, then we sent a DM to those folks and we invited them to join the business page. And we knew that out of those invites, I had already placed a target, right, on the individual saying, this is probably who this is going to work best for in my audience. Then I engaged in DMs with a simple hi, I see what you're doing, and this would probably help you. So didn't try to sell them anything, didn't put this 3-4 sentence, this long paragraph that shows up this long, on social media platforms because your screen is only this big. So it's just a simple hi, I see what you're doing. I'm glad to be a part of your community. This is probably something to help you. I would love to have you in my online community. That's it. And then sent them a link. And with that science and figuring that out, my engagement has increased over 200% on my business page on LinkedIn. And now folks are, now that the visibility is increased and more people have joined the page, now the meaningful content, the CTA and the funnels are there, the leveraging what I'm saying, all of those things are beginning to be there now. So what's happening is the engagement is starting to pick up. And now that the engagement is starting to pick up, now we're working on the science of let's qualify these leads at this point and see what exactly is that they need. Do they need lower level products? Do they need more high level products that can produce more in a little bit more time? Do they need just free resources? Do they need a digital what do these people need? And so that's where we are currently. But what I had to do was slow down and think about what type of content formula I'm going to use to educate, empathize, elevate, and then invite. So it works in cycles. And it sounds like a lot, like it'll take a really long time to do, but this happens really quickly. And it can happen in a sense of just a single post. So here's my formula that I'm giving you, right? The first with educating. Here's how to do something, right? Here's how to shop with me. Here's how I saw somebody put personal training in there. Here's how to lose the stomach. Here's how to lose the love handles. Here's how to here's how to get the six pack. Here's how to get this, to buy this beautiful dress. Here's how you do this. I'm a business coach. Here's how to start a business. Here's how to save $5,000 in startup costs while you're trying to start a business on your own, right? So educate. Give people how to do something. Give them that. And use that in your content. Second thing you're going to do is empathize with them. And that marketing post could sound something like this. I used to feel stuck too, but, and mind you, if you are using more than just 1 or 2 sentences in the post, and you've got about 3 or 4, and then you got your CTA. So sometimes in a post, that's what you end up with most posts, right? To market what you have. Unless you're just asking for, unless the post itself is very descriptive and the caption just contains your CTA. But if you are including more, just know that people are only seeing the first sentence and then they have to click see more. Think about it. So that hook that's at the top, they hadn't even gotten to the story yet. Your hook has to be something to catch their attention. And empathy catches people's attention. I used to feel stuck too, but. So give them something. That's a great example. If you are elevating, you want to actually make your clients feel like they're leveling up somehow, or they are watching you level up. An example, now I help clients do it in half the time. Now our business is able to provide clothes for luxurious clothes for the women who want to feel amazing. You know, so many different ways to do that. Now my body shop is catering to hundreds of cars in a month, and everybody's leaving, and we've got a 5-star review consistently. So elevating your brand, and it also makes that shopper feel elevated, right? People want to connect with things that are just doing well. Nobody's going to want to connect with anything that seems like it's failing or struggling. People want to connect with things that are doing well. Remember that. So promote elevation. That was the third thing in the secret sauce that I've been using to actually help my business get to 6 figures. Invite them. You know what? You want me to show you how to do it? Want me to show you how? That works in a CTA level. So also, you know, make sure that you invite them to the experience, because that's what we want your business to be. We don't want it to be just a one and done. We want it to be an experience so that they come back and shop again, and that they talk to other people about the experience. And then they're extending their customer lifetime value, right, with you. Because the science behind the sales, again, y'all know I love stats and numbers, is that 95% of the time, people who have always shopped with you, they're going to come back and shop again if they've had a positive experience. You have a 95% chance that if you approach that person again that's previously bought from you, that they're going to buy from you again, unless somehow you just botched the first experience. But there's a 95% chance, let me say that number again, that people who are purchasing from you or have in the past will purchase from you again. So just the sample post here at the bottom of the screen, give you an example. I remember launching my first offer with no audience, no plan, no clue. Now my clients get paid before their launch even starts. This will be me talking as a business coach. If you want to see how I help them pull that off, DM me launch in the details. So put together your own little post. Honestly, you can take this and create a ChatGPT prompt that says, write a 1-sentence post for me that would educate, empathize, elevate, and invite a customer to shop and purchase with me. High converting, here's what I sell. And if your GPT or your AI already knows you, it knows what you sell, probably. But you can literally plug this in as a prompt, and it will create these example posts for you. These are high converting posts. And it took me a while to get to actually figure out the science to not go viral as far as the number of eyes that are seeing the content, not to get the likes, but to get the conversions. And I promise you guys, conversions do not equal likes. Likes don't equal conversions, right? Now, the fact that visibility may impact conversions, because you have to get it in front of people's eyes in order for them to see it, because if they don't see it, then they don't know that you're offering it. So that has a relative correlation. But the thing is that the likes don't equal conversions. So the visibility itself, make sure it gets in front of people. And when it does, make sure it does what it's supposed to do so that it does convert. All right, you guys, we are moving right along. If y'all with me, if you're still awake, I haven't put you to sleep yet, give me something. Say, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I saw, yes. All right, let me check I saw the head shake. Let me check the comments here, because y'all have been all the way live in the comments. So I'm going all the way back to the CTAs. Yes. Click the link in bio. We went over that one. Jonathan said, book here. Matressa said, don't have a web page set up yet. My business has been word of mouth and cold calls to school systems. You're not old, Matressa. Don't even start that. This is all new. Well, I'm glad you're here, right? Because you're getting this knowledge is new. I hope you're excited about it. But let me give you some pointers. So even if you don't have a web page set up yet and you're using word of mouth, the things that I'm talking about do not just pertain to virtual systems and social media platforms. You know what? When I started my business 12 years ago, I was pounding pavement for clients. You know, I was helping set up doctor's offices, and I was finding mainly physicians were my target audience. And I served physicians for many years and opening several and helping train staff and create operations and improve operations for doctor's offices. That's how I started. So that was pounding pavement for me. Like I was walking door to door for really picking up contracts, taking around proposals, getting to meet folks and stuff like that. So I literally was using word of mouth myself. And now that I know the things that I do as far as these conversions and everything, make these a part of your actual conversation. And you can steer the conversation in these same ways that I'm giving you. So just as well as you could type it, you could say it. So you also going to be using what is your real life funnel? You know, what does it look like for someone to actually move along the journey to actually working with you and signing that contract or making that deal? And how can you make it better for yourself? How are you telling your story when you're engaged with people? Because when you're face to face with a person, that's even more, that's stronger. That's more powerful than actually saying it online, because we can all say anything online, but you know, and you can say anything in person too. But typically people pick up very easily on body language, on just how you look at them, your eyes, your windows to your soul, all of that good stuff. So use these same cues in telling your story. Jawanza said, yeah, order now. Seriously, order now. You can do that. And sometimes we underestimate how powerful those two words are, like purchase now or order now, because people don't know unless you tell them. So it's like, can I get this? How do I get this? What happens here or what happens there? Like, no, just order it now. It's cool. Fine. Here, click this button. It's going to take you here. Enjoy the experience, right? All right. So how would a VA help build your relationship with customers? Would it be with keeping your thought process organized? Oh, that's a great question, Jonathan. Yes. A VA could definitely help you build your relationship with customers. So there's a couple of ways that you could approach that, right? Well, the first thing that you're definitely going to do is train your VA in your ways, right? Consider yourself a Jedi, and these VAs are going to be your Padawan. I've been watching Star Wars with my husband this week. Forgive me, and I love it. Star Wars buff. So consider yourself a Jedi, right? You've got an apprentice. That VA is your apprentice. You have to teach that VA how you do business. So you've got to slow down to make sure they understand your brand. They have access to the systems and information that they need to have access to, and that they feel confident in communicating your business to your people. So take the time to train your VA on these things. Train them on your operations. Talk to them show them your website. Let them get familiarized with it. Let them tell that VA your story. Meet with them and make sure that they can communicate that story and they understand that story and they're connecting with you. And so what I utilize my VA for, you can do it in a couple of ways. So you can have your VA reach out to people using their own profiles, talking as themselves and helping people understand, hey, I am working for Cynthia. I'm working for Biz Coach C, and this is what she's been known for. This is how she can help you. You could take that approach. I personally did not want that approach. I wanted it looking like my people are actually communicating with me. And in a sense, they are, because they're communicating with my brand. So my VA has access to my platforms, limited access, but access nonetheless. But she completely knows how the language that I use, how I talk to people, and she's in DMs answering questions for me. So she's very knowledgeable on my consulting business. And she has access to freebies and resources that I would send people. And we've built our relationship over time. Now, this latest VA I have, I think I just onboarded her. We've been together for almost a year now. I think that the end of this summer will be a year. But in that time, she's learned all of these things. And now when I meet with her, I'm actually going over things like, hey, I need you to be engaging in DMs more on this platform or on that one, or here's what I'm creating now. Here's the digital product. I want you to be able to offer this in the scripting. But I had to prepare myself for her, and I had to prepare her to take on those responsibilities. But once you do that, it's a major investment because it takes such a load off, and they help you bring in sales without you having to actually extract yourself and put your fingers to doing all the things down in the weeds. So that's a great question. I love a VA. A great VA is priceless. And yeah, and they super are really good at, since they're carrying all the minute things in the business, and you're not stressing over it. It makes the process is way more organized. Some VAs, VA stands for virtual assistant. That's a great question. So a virtual assistant is someone who takes on responsibilities in your business. You know, you can outsource tasks for them to do. So virtual assistants can check your emails. They can respond to your customers in DMs. They can send out emails for you. If you have texting platforms, they can send out texts for you. Anything, they can set appointments for you if you're someone who's booking appointments. They can set up your consultations. You can do so many things, but that's what a VA is, and that's kind of what they do. And there are many VAs who create content, they schedule content. So it's just about finding the right one. A great VA, once they get to know you and your business well, they will also make recommendations on things that they notice maybe in the data. My VA sent me at least about 4 pages of analytics from my platforms today that said, hey, this is what's going on here, 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 and here. So if you don't have time to get to these things, you can outsource this. There are VA platforms all over the world. They come at different prices, different price points. Some of them, they want to be paid weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is, you can find which one works comfortably for you. But once you figure out the secret sauce to this marketing and understanding, you start seeing, okay, I actually got paid from this. Like this happened because I changed this language in this marketing. I included a clear CTA so people knew where to go. This actually got a sale. If I repeat it, let me see if it happens again. Or how many times am I going to have to repeat it in order for it to happen again? So this is not an instant solution because you have to figure out what's actually going to work for your business. But having a business coach helps you figure out these things quicker. So you're not just doing a lot of trial and error on your own, because what I do is I minimize your 6-month thought process and planning and testing, and I condense that down into like about 30 days to say, I tried that, I've seen this, I've seen that, don't do this, don't do that, go do this, go do that. That's what I do as a business coach. I save you those 6 months, right? So how would, let's see, I've gone through that question about process organize. My story sold my contracts. Yes, communication is my thing. Get it, Matressa, for real. You just got to learn to market. Yeah, and that's what we're doing today, right? You just got to learn the science behind it. Jawanza, is imposter syndrome real? I'm trying to figure out why I have such a problem with getting in front of the camera. We need to talk. We need to do a free 15-minute strategy session because I got a whole thing on that, Jawanza. So I'm going to send you that. You need to schedule a free strategy. We need to talk about imposter syndrome. It is real, but most people who think they're going through imposter syndrome are not. So that's a great question. Yeah, Roy, you're going to get the slides to this email for real, to this. I can send you out the slides for it. If you want, just send me a DM and give me your email address. I'll do that. If you're comfortable dropping it here, you can drop your email here too. I just don't know if you're comfortable. You don't have to do that. But DM me your email address. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to put my email address live here in the Google Meet room. And if you want these slides, I want you guys to send me an email and let me know. And I'm also going to drop it here on the comments where we're live streaming. And so if anybody want these slides, shoot me an email. Let me know you want the slides from the marketing that converts to pay session, and I will get that to you guys. That's a great question. Yeah, I got you, Roy. That's what's up. All right. Is a job as a VA a good start before starting your own business? Oh, definitely. Giselle, that's a great question. So if you are going to be, I would say if you are going to become a VA before you start your business, then offer your virtual assisting services for people that are in the industry that you want to start the business in. So for instance, if you want to start a clothing business, then say I'm a VA for clothing businesses, figure out what those practices are that you would have to do to become a VA for them, and then look for one who's looking for one. If you need a place to market your services as a VA, I do have a group on Facebook called BYOB, Build Your Own Business. That's exclusively for entrepreneurs. And people are in there looking for things like VAs all the time. So if you want to post and build your own business, you can post in that Facebook group, and that's there. And I'll drop a link to the BYOB Facebook group so you guys will be able to join that group if you would like. No pressure, but it is a group for entrepreneurs exclusively for that I created like about 4 years ago. And that not only do they promote their businesses, but I'm putting training materials in there all the time. So great. We're caught up on the questions now. So I'm going to hop back because we're actually on our fourth thing because we're almost done because I just got 5. This is perfect because we started not too long from now. So we'll be right on an hour. All right. So, but I want to just tell you guys something about using my 4-tier content formula, which was engage, empathize, elevate, and invite. The tools that you can use to actually make that happen. Again, ChatGPT. You can use platforms to schedule your content. Meta Business Suite will schedule your content for Facebook and Instagram. I used to use a platform called Sprout Social, and Sprout is another platform where you can schedule and it'll automatically post your content. If you outsource that activity to somebody like a virtual assistant, you can just create a calendar, add the links, and that person can schedule that content for you. There's a platform called Later that will actually schedule content for you. And then these platforms themselves have their schedules. So LinkedIn now has a feature where you can schedule your posts personally and if you have a business page. And they just added that feature for business pages like within the last year because they hadn't always had that. But Google Docs is definitely your friend. Writing out content, saving it. As a matter of fact, my VA and I literally share a Google Doc for all of my social media posts. So it's super, super helpful. Fourth thing that I want you to do here today, though, because we're getting ready to wind this thing down. And oh my gosh, the Google Meet Room, y'all have been on fire. So thank you so much for participation today. And you're welcome, Giselle. I see you, and I've got that too. And I got you, Chandler. I'll make sure you get the link for the imposter syndrome as well. We can talk about that. I'm going to send you guys my 15-minute scheduling link. And as a matter of fact, I think I will have that dropped in here now. Let me go ahead and pull that up for y'all since y'all want it. And it's right here on the screen. Be easy for me to access. Not going to keep folks waiting because y'all have things to do. We all do. So I'm going to grab that link right quick from here. All right. So yeah, anybody that wants to schedule, let's have a free 15-minute conversation, which I call a breakthrough strategy session. This is going to be awesome for you. All right. Just drop that in the comments for anybody who needs to schedule a free 15-minute breakthrough strategy session. So whether you want to go over something that I had today, you got something else you want to talk about, or you want to strategize about imposter syndrome, like schedule a session there, completely free. Find what's available for you, most comfortable for you as far as date and time, and we can talk about it. Let's chat about it. And I'm going to put it live here also for folks who are watching on the social media platforms. But here's the fourth thing. You have got to, if you're going to turn your marketing into real sales, you've got to figure out how to create a lead magnet that's actually going to lead to a sale. So a lead magnet, you're welcome, Chandler. A lead magnet is what we are using to attract people to our business. So if you think in the sense of what a magnet is, it's exactly what this is. It's going to be something that we use to attract people to actually purchase from us, right? Free content is great, but free strategic content is always going to help you build trust and drive traffic straight to your paid offers. That's what we want. We want to drive the traffic to our actual product. That's it. In summary, that's always what we want to do, right? Drive the traffic to the product, not just drive them to the website, because they could go anywhere on the website and bounce rates high. They're going to go back off. Maybe that website is slow, is not working correctly. We don't want to just drive them to the website. We don't want to just drive them to the link in the bio. We want to actually have them execute by clicking, by getting to the product. So a lead magnet is what helps get people there. So that could look like many things. It could look like a coupon code. It could look like a checklist that you have for someone. It could look like a challenge that you're pitching. that's going to keep people interested in what you're doing. It could look like a free training or a workshop, with a CTA to buy. Just remember, free isn't the goal, because free isn't what pays, but free with purpose, right? So we don't just want to stop at where they actually have read the CTA and done that. That lead magnet has to pull, and it has to draw them in to where your product actually is. And I gave you some examples of things that you could say to do that, or things that you could offer as a lead magnet: the discounts, the checklists, the challenges, the giveaway contests that you see. Those are actual lead magnets. And I've got some other ideas I could give you. But yeah, free trainings, free workshops, the CTAs, that's what all of these are, right? Tools to help you with lead magnets. And the thing about leads is you need to figure out a way to track your leads. Because as people engage more and more, you need to know who they are. And you need to know how qualified of a lead they are. So qualifying a lead means making sure that we understand the level of engagement a person is having with our business, and making sure that they're the right customer for our business, so we can be sure that they convert. Now, I know you're probably just starting on mastering this. So what I want you to do is have patience with yourself, right? I want you guys to be able to indulge yourselves throughout this process, because this is not easy, and it's not going to mean sudden change. Conversions is figuring out the science and the sales psychology behind your business that's going to help you make money consistently and repeatedly. So this happens quicker for some than others, but that's okay. It's not a comparison game with anyone else. It's a comparison game and a competition game with yourself. Can you be better at doing this today than you were yesterday? Why did you not sell anything yesterday? And you have to ask yourself this question: why didn't I sell anything yesterday? Is it because I didn't have a clear offer? Is it because I didn't clearly communicate that offer? Maybe I put it out, but no one saw it because I didn't word it right. Did I not include a CTA to tell them what to do and they weren't clear on it? Did I not have a funnel and a process that I wanted to take people through to get to my product or service? Whether that's 2 steps or 3 steps or 1 step, go from here to there, buy now, order now, book now, do this, do that. Did I not share my story well enough? And does that mean since I'm not connecting with the right people? Do I have an actual content formula, or am I just posting to be posting because I feel like somebody's got to see it, so let me just put something out there today, and it doesn't even look like your brand, so people are lost, So ask yourself that question. If you did not make a sale, why didn't you make it? And you've got to make sure that you're creating a lead magnet, you're creating a mechanism that is going to always attract people, the right people, to your business. So that can happen through email marketing. I love MailChimp. I've been using it for a while. I've used the free version for a long time, because if you keep it under 500 emails, you can use it for free till you're ready for other features. And then even the paid versions are not that expensive. They're very affordable. I still use MailChimp, and I just marched my way up to a pro subscription because that actually worked for me. Then design, Canva, using Adobe for PDFs, doing downloadable guides, you can use Google Word docs for this and create your own PDFs and things for that. Definitely opt-ins. I did mention ClickFunnels at the beginning. ClickFunnels is a little bit more pricey. I think the lower level cost is $100 a month for small businesses, but there are other platforms like ConvertBox, Leadpages that help you create what we call opt-in pages, or like landing pages on a website where you could just give people that link. Here's the link in the CTA to click. Well, that squeeze page, sometimes is what we call it, squeezes a person through a funnel by telling them, here's what you're going to get with this. Here's the next link to click. Here's why to click it, because this is going to help you. So that's what opt-in pages kind of do for you. But having a lead magnet that's going to help you attract the right people is going to be everything, because those are the people that are going to be driven straight to your product. So just remember, that's what your lead magnet needs to do. All right. And just remember what that free isn't your goal. Free with purpose is what pays. So if you are offering something free, it has to lead them to the wheel. All right. Use a simple weekly promo plan. So make it easy for yourself, right? This is what I want you to do. And notice I do not have Saturday and Sunday on this slide, right? And you don't even have to do these every day. This can be every other day as you schedule it out. It just depends on your audience and how much they like to engage with you and how much you want to engage with them. And it also depends on how you begin to get reactions from this. And so if you begin to get people who are, the visibility goes up and you say, okay, people are noticing me. Here's where all of this is going. And the engagement is going up. People are clicking, liking, clicking your CTAs for the most part, because likes don't equal money. But if they're working on your CTAs, commenting those buzzwords or keywords, like a comment sale to get this discount, comment this to go here, click the link in bio, do that. If they start doing that stuff, then you're leading people there. So check those analytics and make sure those numbers are showing up on the other side of that command. It's what you have to do. You've got to connect the dots as a business owner. All right. But here's my weekly promo plan. And this is what helps me get sales in my business. I can only teach you what I've experienced and what I know what works, because I can't teach you about anything I don't know about. So this is something else. This is the fifth thing that helped me ensure that I was able to consistently get 6 figures in my business. And that is coming up with a weekly plan on how you're going to promote your business. So think of it in terms like this. One day you're going to share at least one day a week, a client win, a testimonial, some type of feedback, or a win that you want your clients to experience. So if you haven't had feedback given to you yet, then use it in the sense of, here's what I want for my clients. And then write out a real scenario that people are familiar with, something that clicks and resonates. So we're not just saying that my client actually looked pretty in this dress. We want to say that my clients or my shoppers are showstoppers when they walk into a room. Emotional resonance with the language, right? Then another day, after you do a testimonial, and it doesn't have to be in this order, but teach something small but powerful, right? If you're a shoe salesman, I've got a guy who's a good friend of mine who's got his own shoe brand. One of the things that I often encourage people to post that have their own brand is a way to keep up the materials. So if it can be machine washed, then say, hey, the great thing about our clothes is that they can be machine washed, so you can save this much money per year by not having to take it to here or the cleaners or anything like that, right? Teach something small but powerful, something that's going to be impactful to them. Did you know that if you did 20 sit-ups a day, that you're doing this for your health? Or did you know that if you remove this from your diet, then you're improving your health by this much, or you're improving blood flow by doing this, or your brain activity, or whatever your business is. Teach them something small, but something powerful and will add and useful. People don't want anything that's not useful to them. Take another day and show what you have in action. It can be a video, it can be a demo, it can be a screenshot, it can be a BTS, a behind the scenes. Show what you're offering in action. And so give you a good example with some of the digital products that I offer. I'm recording videos of either myself or someone actually using that product. And there are short videos that I'm incorporating into Reels to say, here's how it works, and they can clearly see it. So show how your offer works. If it's clothes, get someone to model it or do a mock-up. AI is a real thing. Do a mock-up real quick. If you're an author and you're selling your books, mock up your book or have a picture of someone sitting reading your book, right? That's what you do on the other post day. Another day, answer a common objection or a fear, because this shows people that you actually see them and you're identifying with how they relate to your product or service. So when we're out here boasting about what we're offering and we're telling people it does this, it does that, we're talking about solutions. We're talking about our experience with the product. But when we answer like a common objection or fear, then we're putting it out there to the customer or the shopper that, hey, I can see things how you see them, and this is how it's going to help you. So if you preemptively address objections and you dissolve them and you help them alleviate that fear, then that leads them straight to the purchase, because it's like, oh, okay, well, then I don't have to worry about that. Let me hop to this, right? So figure out, assume what those objections or those fears were. If you're not sure what they are, again, 15-minute strategy call, definitely. And even ask your ChatGPT or your Grok, hey, what objections would people have to this product or service? And if you've sold it before and you've got some objections before it, then you have some idea of people, maybe they think it's too expensive initially. Then you have to say in your content how the value is worth what they're getting. Don't be afraid to lose $10 when this product is going to bring you $200 more, right? Or don't be afraid to wear this shirt, because this is what's going to happen when you do. You're going to get compliments all day. Don't be afraid to do this or do that, right? So another day, or the last day, because I'm giving you at least just 5 days of intentional content, right? 5 really actionable, really power-packed, really results-driven posts for you. So Friday, hard CTA, right? Another day, we're giving a hard CTA. This is what I want you to do to get this. So you've shared somebody's experience with it. You've taught them about something about your brand. You're showing them how it works, and you're addressing their objections or fears about it. So offer it to them. Now it's time for that hard look at, here it is, here's what you do, here's how you get to it. Let's book, let's purchase, offer in soon, make it sound urgent, okay? All right. You can track what you're doing with this by using platforms like that are for project management. I use Slack. I love using Slack. My VA and I communicate on Slack a lot, and a lot more of my other team members, partners. We use different platforms. Metricool, Facebook Insights to help you track the actual conversion rates of what you're putting out. Again, if you have a website, your website has analytics. You need to be looking at those on a regular basis. Content repurposing. Oh my gosh, don't reinvent the wheel all the time. Now, when I say repurpose content, I don't mean just screenshot somebody else's content and post it on your page. Ouch. Because it's probably not going to be in alignment with your brand. And we lose people when we start just posting other folks' content that don't necessarily look like us or sound like us. So we read it, we're hype about it, we got excited about it, it triggered something in us, but we are not our target audience who are going to be our shoppers. So just snapping folks' pictures and stuff and other quotes and stuff and downloading them and sharing with your audience does not always convert to pay. That's just posting to be posting, right? If you are going to do it, make sure it's something that's going to resonate with your audience and it will lead them to the water. All right. So repurpose your content though, because you can use some of the same posts that you've done before, some of the same exact posts. You can take snippets of the lives that you do, because right now when I'm using StreamYard, it gives me the ability to create snippets of all of these trainings, and their algorithm itself pulls out like some of the most meaningful pieces of conversation that I teach, and it will give me like 15-second snippets of video and already separate it for me. So I just have to download it and repost it like that. So you can repurpose your content like that. If you're someone who goes live like me, you teach whatever, or you're doing consultations and the person that you're talking with is comfortable with you sharing that. You can also cover their face up if they're not, and you don't have to have the sound on. You can do a voiceover. Your posts that you make, you can use like the same messaging or language in it. If it's something that works well, just copy it, use it later. Honestly, you can tweak it, you can rewrite it, whatever. Rewrite your emails, redo the reels, redo the stories, things like that. So you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. We're just building a better mousetrap as we go along. That's it. But you can Awesome, awesome, awesome ways to do that. But that's the simple promo plan that I use to get there. So maintain momentum after your sale. And I've really given you the top 5 things already. So our top 5 today, and we're going to wrap this thing up so I don't keep you guys on here too long because I know we're already running over a little bit. But our top 5 for today were, again, starting with a strong CTA funnel. Remember, marketing without direction is wasted energy. Every piece of content should tell your audience what to do next. People don't need more information in your caption. They just need you to show them the next step. So keep it simple for them. And then leverage your story-based marketing. Learn how to tell your story. People buy when they feel connected, and emotion sells more than features. So the best marketing doesn't sound like sales. It sounds like me too, and I've been there, right? Use that type of story, create your story. The third thing I gave you today was my 100K content formula, where I learned how to plug and play that consistently to get the attention, to get people actually to the website and to start making the purchases. That was educating, empathizing, elevating, and inviting, right? And then the fourth thing was creating that lead magnet that's going to lead people to the actual product or service. And it makes them want to click over, go over, do over. Free content is great, but free strategic content is going to build trust and drive that traffic straight to your paid offer. So free isn't the goal, but free with a purpose is what pays. So if you're offering a freebie in the beginning or a discount, just make sure it leads to something that's actually going to pay. Use a simple weekly promo plan. I've given you a Monday through Friday to use that includes sharing that client win, that customer testimonial, the feedback. If you don't have that yet, do what you want, post what you want your clients to experience. Then teach someone something small but powerful and useful. Show the offer in action. Do a BTS, do a behind the scenes or somebody using it. Answer and address the common objections before they're asked in DMs or before they're asked in comments. If you do a video, make sure that video includes what they might have, what might cause them a hesitation before they buy. Have your AI tell you what possible hesitations people may have. You don't need 30 new ideas a week. You just need 3 strong ones that are repeated with purpose. I'm going to say that again. You don't need 30 posts or 30 new ideas every week. You just need 3 really strong ones that you can put on repeat and repurpose. So here's what I want you to do to maintain your momentum after you start getting sales, because you're going to start getting sales, right? When you incorporate these things that I'm giving you, here's how you maintain it. Here's how we keep that trending graph going upward, not linear, but still going upward, because business has its highs and lows. Just because they bought from you once doesn't mean they're going to be completely done with you. You know, you don't want that. We want them to buy once, definitely. And we want to capture that sale, but we want people to come back and buy again. And so if we're going to get people to come back and buy again, this is how we're going to keep that momentum. I see you folks on Instagram. Thank y'all. All right. Onboard people with sheer excellence. And this is your first impression. And we all know that we can't do a first impression twice. So make sure that their first impression with you and their first experience when you're onboarding, that you execute with excellence. Leave no stone unturned. We want to make people feel so special. We want them to feel like they're gold. We want them to feel like Midas has touched them, and that somebody would have to be digging for them in the mines if they wanted to reach them, right? We want them to feel that special. Automated emails, welcome messages, do something that exceeds somebody's expectations. So if that's a personal blurb from you to say, hey, thanks for taking a look at this, or whatever it is, figure out what that is for your business to help onboard people with excellence. Offer the next step. Again, people want to be guided. You know, there's a hand-holding process that your business has to have with the shopper. So immediately attempt to upsell for something else, or give them a thank you discount, or give them a free bonus for moving along with you. Immediately move them into another stage of, here's how you can continue to do business with me, right? I want you to do that. And then the last thing is definitely keep showing up, right? And your content is going to be a great way for you to stay in front of them. And so if you guys remember, I talked about touch points in the business and those 9 touch points on average that you have to have. So if you are sending emails, if you are posting consistently, then people are going to continue to see you, especially after they shop with you once, because algorithms will just continue to bring you back again when people show interest, right? But that's if you're posting the right type of ways. And if you hang around me long enough, then I'm teaching SEO and things like that, so you know how to incorporate keywords, hashtags, things like that in your business to help you continue to show up in people's algorithms. That's just another training. That's not today. So continue to provide value even after they buy, right? Because value equals loyalty. Value is going to always turn into loyalty because people know that your business, they can depend on your business to deliver the solutions that they're looking for, whether that's the right shirt they're looking for, whether it's the right baseball bat that they want to buy, or cleats for their kids, whether it's the right ball cap, the right set of glasses, the right t-shirt, the right tractor, the right truck, whatever it is, keep showing up. Continue to provide value even after they buy, because value means loyalty. And let me show you what's on the bottom of the screen because it's not quite showing on you guys' side. Tools to use for this to make sure that you're keeping momentum after your sale and staying in front of people. Welcome emails. We talked about MailChimp and MailerLite already. Upselling. So a lot of websites, including Squarespace, which is what my website is on, it will allow you to create or just add another product to the upsell component. So when somebody is looking at one of my products, my website is automatically offering them these other products based on either people who have shopped and bought this product also bought these, or Amazon is really great about too. People who have purchased this have also purchased these, or people who have looked at this have also looked at these products. So a lot of platforms that's already built in on. If it's not, then Thrivecart gives you the ability to upsell like that. But like I said, most of your websites will already. Surveys, you can use Google Forms for surveys. SurveyMonkey will allow you to ask up to 10 questions, I think it is, for free. You won't be able to do your own branding with that, but you'll be able to capture information. And what you can do with that feedback is, again, use it in your content from people. If it's positive, we only want to be sharing what's positive. If it's not so positive, then we need to evaluate what we're doing that person has mentioned and make sure that we don't need to make changes before we put that back out to anybody else. So you made the sale. This is making sale. Not this right here, but what I've talked about earlier was making sale. This is making relationship, right? That's the difference right here. Relationship means they'll stay. That means committed buyers, committed customers, people who are loyal and will continue to return. So I'm going to wrap up some action items, but before I do, I just wanted to take a quick look back in the chat, make sure I hadn't missed anything. I see a thank you. Yep, kind of FQA. I see you, Margarita. Yes. And let me go back, make sure I haven't missed anything from anybody. I really appreciate all of you joining. Y'all have been amazing. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. CTA. All right. And the question that I'm looking for was when Roy asked me about the clothing brand for personal training. So let me see, because I had my folks to take a quick look right here. Who said what? Let me go back to what I've got. Awesome. Okay, recommendation I have for you is called Klaviyo, Roy, and let me drop that down here for you. I want you to take a look at this platform because I've used Klaviyo before. It's marketing, really deep insights. Check that platform out. All right. Before I go through these wrap-up actions, I do want to take a second to just thank Southeastern Community College Small Business Center. The director is Pamela Young Jacobs. She has actually partnered with me on today's training, and I appreciate Southeastern's SBC so much. And Pamela, she's the most amazing director ever. But thank you for sponsoring today's training, for all of these amazing entrepreneurs who have joined us across my platforms, and especially my favorites who are live in the Q&A room today. We appreciate you guys who are all on Google Meet. So if you want to work with the Small Business Center, if you don't have one in your area or you have not heard of one, these are usually located at community colleges within your areas. And they are great, especially for working with folks in rural areas. So if you are a business who's in a rural area, like this is a really great opportunity for you. Outside of the Small Business Center, I am Biz Coach C. You have been watching Coach C today for all of this amazing marketing training. This is the 6th in the series of the Road to 100K trainings, where I'm teaching entrepreneurs how to get to 6 figures in their business, the processes that it takes, and the things that you have to maintain to make it happen. Today was all about marketing that converts to pay, and how you can make sure that the things that you are marketing, whether traditional or non-traditional, are bringing the results of people actually paying for your products and services. So I cannot stress enough the importance of intentional revenue generating action, which means we are doing the things, we're taking the actions, we're making the decisions, we're creating the content, we're scheduling the posts that are going to turn into dollars. If it does not make dollars for your small business, then it does not make sense. So wrapping up today, here are the actions that I'm going to give you. Oh, and if you've been watching, the link to schedule a 15-minute free strategy call is in the comments for you guys to take hold of that. I would strongly encourage you to schedule that breakthrough strategy session. 15 minutes may not seem like a long time, but I promise you, all I need is about 5 minutes to hear your story, 5 minutes to analyze what your barriers are, and then I can take 5 really strong minutes to give you solutions that will actually work. And we can schedule up follow-up calls from that. And I give you a summary of what we covered on that call. And I also provide you action items for steps that you need to take. Coupled usually along with those breakthrough strategy calls or my free resources that can actually take you through the steps of making happen what you need to happen. And because a lot of what entrepreneurs are going through in the first 0 to 5 years are so much the same, that I just need to know your personal situation in your business to carve out the right solutions for you. And so I provide these solutions for people in 15-minute strategy sessions, like all the time. Like seriously, I could be doing probably about, I think I go through about at least 10 to 20 strategy calls in a week, just depending on the time that it is for people and what they need. So top 5 marketing moves. Here's the recap for you today. Have that strong CTA funnel, story-based selling. You're welcome, Maria. I will drop that back in here for you. Let me drop that back in here again, you guys, so I don't miss that. All right. Make sure strong CTA funnel, story-based selling, right? 100K content formula. You got that today. Make sure that you've got a lead magnet with a purpose and the weekly promo plan. Introduce these things. So your homework, I am a business coach, so I do have to give you homework. Whether you do it or not depends on what type of entrepreneur you are and whether you really want to be successful or not. That's what that means. So you can respond how you want to respond, but I'm going to give you this homework. And if you schedule a 15-minute strategy session for us to go over your homework, then you definitely get bonus points. You get brownie points from me for real, and heavy discounts on some of my other services, because that shows me that you're committed to helping yourself. I'm successful when you're successful. That's my purpose as a business coach. That's how I'm fulfilled in life. I consider myself very wealthy because my clients are successful. So if that's happening, I'm happy. So this is all about you. But your homework is pick one of these 5 strategies and do it this week. I don't expect you to incorporate all 5 of these in one day, in 2 days, even in 2 weeks. I want you to pick one of these 5 strategies each week and incorporate it. Now, start there, right? That's what we're doing first. The second thing that I want you to do for homework is download my Marketing That Converts worksheets. Absolutely free, right? And it's optional for you to take advantage of the digital products that I'll have attached to that. It's up to you. It depends on what you need. I will have other things that I'll offer you, but if you don't need that, don't worry about that, right? But download the Marketing That Converts worksheet because it's going to help you walk through these stages so you won't forget. And this live training has been amazing. It is actually going to be up on my YouTube channel forever. So I'm going to have that posted there. My team will have that there, and it'll be available for you to rewatch anytime you want to come back to help you go through this Marketing That Converts worksheet. Last thing that I want you to do for homework is share at least one new CTA or story or content plan on my online communities. So if you are in one of my Facebook groups, if you follow me on my Facebook page and you want to drop it in the comments, if you're on YouTube and you want to put it in the comments there, I want you to share one new CTA, one story, or your content plan on my online community. And I want you to hashtag BizCoachC, right? Hashtag BizCoachC, BizCoachC. Hashtag BizCoachC. But please post something. Tag me in it. Let me know how you enjoyed today's training. Give me some feedback. This helps other entrepreneurs discover things that I offer. And it also helps other entrepreneurs understand that there is help and there are other people who can relate to them, right? All right. So I appreciate you guys doing that and giving me some feedback online. That's very helpful to me. It helps me grow. All right. So take action now, you guys. The marketing isn't going to be magic. It's just clarity and consistency and confidence on repeat. Direct quote from me. Download the Marketing That Converts worksheet off of my website. I'm going to have that available in just a second. So make sure you visit my Facebook page because I'm going to be posting it there. I'll post it on Instagram also. I'll drop the link a couple of places. Well, no, not on IG. Check on LinkedIn and Facebook. And because that's where I'm going to be dropping the link to the Download Now worksheet. So you'll be able to get that. And join the community of entrepreneurs. Join BYOB. That's on Facebook. It's an amazing Facebook group just for entrepreneurs like you. So again, thank you everybody for joining today's training. I hope that this has been super, super helpful. Thank you to Southeastern Community College for representing today and partnering with me on this training and sponsoring it to help all of these amazing entrepreneurs. You guys, I am Biz Coach C, and I look forward to hearing from y'all, spending time with you on these 15-minute strategy sessions. I look forward to seeing you download the digital products that I'm adding to help you add value to your businesses. You guys take care, and I will see you next training. Oh, you're welcome.